You are welcome back to my lesson. In today's lesson, we want to talk about BASIC. BASIC as a programming language. In one of our previous lessons, we talked about programming language. We talk about the meaning of programming language, the types of programming language, and different examples of programming languages. We discussed low-level language and high-level language. In high-level language, we talk about Java, JavaScript, C#, Python, BASIC, and so on. So in today's lesson, we want to talk about BASIC as a programming language. Why do we choose BASIC in this lesson? We choose it because it is one of the programming languages that is very simple and easy to learn for the beginners. In today's lesson, we want to look at the meaning of BASIC. We want to look at different versions of BASIC. Also, we want to look at BASIC character set. And finally, we want to look at key BASIC statements. Now, what is BASIC? BASIC is an acronym that stands for Beginners All-purpose Symbolic Instruction Code. This programming language is simple and good for the beginners. The code is written in form of symbols and we use it to give instructions to the computer. Again, the full meaning of BASIC is Beginners All-purpose Symbolic Instruction Code. Now let us go over short history of BASIC. BASIC is a high-level programming language developed in 1964 by two professors, John Kemeny and Thomas Scott, at Dartmouth College in the United States of America. It makes programming more accessible to beginners and non-experts. As a language, we use BASIC to write codes to the computer to solve varieties of problems. Now, when we are talking about BASIC, we have different versions of BASIC. These are like dialects we use to give instruction to computer. The first one we want to mention today is GW BASIC that was developed in 1983. We also have Q BASIC developed in 1985, Visual BASIC that was developed in 1991, Liberty BASIC developed in 1991 also, and Small BASIC developed in the year 2008. This is just to mention some versions of BASIC because we have more than 5 versions. Now let us talk about basic character sets. When we say basic character set, these are different characters that we use when we are writing basic programming language. The whole character set can be divided into 3 main categories. The first one are alphabets, that is letters A to Z. The second one are numbers, that is 0 to 9, and special characters like comma, semicolon, colon, equality sign, greater than, less than, and so on. So now, let us take these character sets one after the other. The first one we shall mention now is letters, that is alphabets from A to Z. BASIC uses uppercase and lowercase letters. They are used in variable names, commands, and statements. For example, let A is equal to 10. That letter A is called a variable or variable name. That is, 10 is assigned to that variable A. As you can see, A is a variable and it is an alphabet. So in the next line, when you see print A, the value of A will be printed on the screen. Let us look at another character set, digits, 0 to 9. It is used in numbers, number line, and variable names. As we progress in this class, we shall be talking about numbers, number line, and variable names. So let's continue. Example of how digits are used in BASIC is let x1 equals 5. You can see 1 is written after x. x1 stands as a variable that is assigned the value 5. That is, the next time the computer will see x1, it will refer to it as 5. The next statement says print 100. You can see 100 as a number is also used in that statement. Another basic character set are arithmetic operators. These are used for performing mathematical calculations. As we all know, arithmetic operators include plus, that is addition. For example, we can use it as print 5 plus 3. In this statement, 5 will be added to 3 and the computer will print the answer, which is 8, on the screen. Another one is minus, that is subtraction. Then you can see print 9 minus 4. The system will subtract 4 from 9 and print the result, which is 5, on the screen. Another one is star or asterisk. It is used for multiplication. When you see print 6 star 2, the system will multiply 6 by 2 and give the result 12 on the screen. Another example of arithmetic operators is forward slash. It is used as a division symbol in basic programming. For example, when you say print 10/2, it means 10 divided by 2. The result 5 will be printed on the screen. Another example is caret or exponentiation sign. This symbol, caret, is used as exponentiation or raised to power. So when you see print 2 caret 3, 2 caret 3 means 2 raised to the power of 3. And 2 raised to the power of 3 is 8. Let us look at another character set. The next character set we shall be talking about today is relational or comparison operator. So we can call it relational operator or comparison operator. These are used in conditional statements, that is, if then. Let us look at how they are used in basic program. The first one is equal to or assigned to. So when you say if x equals 10, then print equal. Don't you worry, we shall be talking about all these double quotes in our future lessons. Let us look at another example of relational operator. Not equal to. Not equal to is written as writing the combination of less than and greater than signs. For example, we can use not equal to operator as if x is not equal to 10, then print not equal to. That means if the value of x is not 10, the computer should print not equal to on the screen. Let us look at some other relational operators that we can use in basic program. We can use less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Now let's check another basic character set. Another basic character set is logical operators. These are used in decision making. Basically, logical operators are 3: and, or, not. So let's check them one after the other. And means both conditions must be true. For example, if A is equal to 5 and B is equal to 10, then print both true. The second one is or. Or means at least one condition is true. For example, if A is equal to 5 or B is equal to 10, then print at least one true. The third one is not, that is negation, meaning negating a targeted variable. For example, if not A is equal to 5, that simply means if A is not equal to 5, then print A is not 5. Another one is string operators. What are string operators? They are used for handling text strings. Let us look at an example of how string is used in basic. For example, when we say print hello, hello in double quotes, the double quote is telling us that hello is a string. When we say string, what do we mean? We mean the values that should remain how it is. The value that cannot change at any particular time. So in this example, we say hello plus world. You can see that hello is in a double quote and world is in another double quote. So that is telling us that hello is a string, then world is a string. So a string data is identified by double quotes. Even if what you have inside double quotes is number, it will still be identified as a string, meaning that we are not expected to perform any calculation on that number. So that is why we put it in double quotes. So generally, when we say a string is the value that we put in double quotes whose values is not expected to change at any particular time. Let's go to the next basic character set. Punctuation and special symbol. We have many punctuation and special symbols as we are used to them in our writings. When you write something, they will ask you to punctuate it so that it will give you a meaningful sense. Let us look at different special symbols we use in BASIC and how they are used. The first one we shall talk about is comma. Comma is used for separating items in print statements. Another one is semicolon. Semicolon is used to join output on the same line. For example, we can say print hello semicolon world. So you can see that it is doing almost the same thing as comma in number 1 example. So let's look at another one, double quotes. I've been mentioning double quotes in this class, and I told us earlier that when you put a text or any type of data in a quote, it means we want computer to present it as it is. Even if it is number, when you put it in double quote, it means we cannot use it for calculation. We want computer to return it the way it is. So that's why we put it in double quotes. In this case, double quotes is an example of special symbol that we can use in BASIC. Let us look at another symbol, colon. Colon is used to separate multiple statements on the same line. Look at this example. Let name dollar equals Shola, Shola in quote, then colon, print name. In this example, let name equals Shola is a statement and print name is another statement. We are able to write the two on the same line because of the use of colon symbol. These and many more are different basic character sets, that is, the characters that we can make use of when we are writing our BASIC program. Now let us talk about what we call key statements in BASIC. What are the key statements we use in BASIC? Why do we call them key statements, and what are their functions? So let's take them one after the other. Firstly, what is key basic statements? In the basic programming language, statements are used to instruct the computer to perform specific actions or tasks. This statement we are talking about is something we can call action statement. For example, when I say go, come, stand up, sit down. These are the statements that basic compiler understand that we can use to give instruction to BASIC. Let us look at different examples of key basic statements. The first one we shall talk about today is print. Print is used to display text or values on the screen. As we've been using it, when we say print, I told us that print will allow us to see the result on the screen. It doesn't mean that we have to print on paper. It means the result of our instructions should be displayed on the screen. Let us look at an example of how print is used in BASIC. Print hello world. What we are saying is the computer should return the text hello world on the screen. Another example is input. This statement reads input from the user and stores it in a variable. What that means is when you use input statement, it means computer will request for the value of a variable based on the formula you have given to it. Now let's look at this example. Input in quotes, enter your name, then close the quotes, semicolon, name. So what this simply means is we are saying that the computer should allow you to enter the value of name when you are running the program. But what's the meaning of all this? I told us earlier that that is what we call a string. That is the data that we want computer to type for us. If we didn't put enter your name, the computer during the runtime will only give us a question mark for us to enter the value of this variable name. And in that, we may not know what the computer is actually requesting from us. So, but by the time we use this string, enter your name, we know that, oh, computer is asking me to supply my name. What I'm trying to say here is these inputs can be written with name only. That is, you can just say input name dollar. The reason why we put dollar there, we shall explain it later. But what I'm trying to say now is this name is a variable that we can use with input. And when we are running the program, the computer will now ask from us what is the value of this variable called name. Let us look at another statement. Let. This assigns a value to a variable. So we can say let age is equal to 5. Or let age be assigned the value of 5. So in that case, age is a variable and the statement let allows us to assign the value 25 to that variable called age. Another key basic statement is if then else. These three terms, if then else, are the terms we can use together when we are writing codes to execute different code blocks based on a particular condition. Let us look at example of how to use if then else. For example now, if age is greater than or equal to 18, then print you are an adult. Else print you are a minor. And if. What we are saying here is if the value age is greater than or equal to 18, the system should print you are an adult. But if this condition is not met, that is, the value of age is not greater than 18 nor equal to 18, then this statement you are a minor should be printed. So this statement and if is used to terminate the process of using if then statement. I think you understand this. Another example is for next. This sets up a loop that repeats a block of code at a specified number of times. For example, for I equals 1 to 10, print I, next I. For variable I equals a range of numbers 1 to 10, then the system should print one of them. This next I sets the loop or control to the next value of I. Now let me explain clearer. This I has the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the first time this statement print will work, it will print 1. The next statement is next I. So I will pick the second value of I, which is 2. Print I will print 2. Next I will pick the third number, 3. Print I, the value 3 will be printed. Next I will pick 4. Print I, 4 will be printed. Next I will print 5. Print I, 5 will be printed, and so on until the value of I is exhausted. I think you understand. So what we call looping is repeating a process when running a program. Another example of key basic program is while, when, or do loop. This creates a loop that continues until a condition becomes false. Let us look at example. While count is less than 5, print count. Let count equals count plus 1. While end. When means while end. Now let me explain it. While count is less than 5, the count here is what? Did you say variable? Then you are correct. The count is a variable. While the variable count is less than 5, this operation should be executed. That is, the initial value of count should be printed first. The next statement is let count equals count plus 1. For example, if the initial value of count is 0, by the time we say let count equals count plus 1, this count will assume the initial value of count, which is 0. So this will mean 0 plus 1. Then the value 1 will be assigned to this count, which is now 1. But the condition is while count is what? Less than 5. So in this case, count is 1. So count is less than 5. The loop will return to this. It will print the current value of count, which is what? 1. So in that case, we now say count is equal to 1. Okay, let count equals count plus 1. What is the value of count now? 1, don't forget. 1 plus 1, 2. 2 will be stored in this count. 2 is less than 5. So this condition says, while count is still less than 5, repeat all this. It will print what? What's the value of count now? 2, right? Print 2. So count will be 2. So count is equal to count plus 1. The current value of count is what? 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 will be stored in this count. Print count, it will print what? 3. Excuse me, print 2 first, then 3. Okay? Now, the current value of count is 3. So, count is equal to count plus 1. That is 3 plus 1, which is what? 4. Print what? Print 4. Count is now equal to 4. The next thing is count plus 1. That is 4 plus 1. 4 plus 1 is what? 5. Is it going to print 5? Of course not, because the instruction says these statements should be executed while count is less than 5. Because 5 is not less than 5. Then when? When means while end. Let's move to the next key basic statement. The next statement is go to. Go to is used to jump to a specific line number in the code. For example, you can just say go to 100. That means the control of instruction should move to a statement 100 as a number line. We will explain better when we start writing code in the subsequent lessons. Now let us revise what we have discussed so far in this lesson. I explained the meaning of basic program. I said basic is an acronym that stands for Beginner's All-Purpose Symbolic Instruction Code. And I explained that BASIC was designed in 1964 by two professors, John Kemeny and Thomas Coates. Then I said BASIC is a simple program and is designed for the beginners of programming language and can be written to solve a wide range of problems. Then we talk about versions of BASIC. We said we have different versions of BASIC. We have GW Basic, we have Visual Basic, we have Q Basic, we have Small Basic, we have Liberty Basic, and so on and so forth. Also, we discussed basic character sets. We said there are different characters that we can use in BASIC, ranging from numbers, letters, special characters, operators, colon, semicolon, and so on. We then discussed key basic statements. We talk about different key basic statements and how we use them in basic programming language. We talk about let's, print, input, go to, for to next, while, when, if then, and many others. This is where we wrap it up in today's lesson. Don't forget to like, comment, and share to other learners so that they get to know about this class. Most importantly, subscribe to my channel so that you get notified anytime I post a new video. In our next programming class, we are going to be solving different problems using basic program. In that class, we'll be talking about every element of basic, every statement of basic and how they are used. We'll be solving different problems with basic codes. So we'll meet in the next class. Enjoy your days.